What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we have a fully, totally, definitely legit GTS team. So I actually wanted to go on the GTS right and get some, the first 6 shiny Pokemon that I've seen. But it turned out they were hack mons or gen mons as well. So I thought I'd make a funny team and see what the sets were. What is your funniest hack or gen Pokemon you've ever seen on GTS? Leave below in the comment section. And if you guys want to check me out on Twitch, make sure you do. The link is in the description of the video there. Twitch.tv/PIMPNITE. I got 2 awesome battles for you today, and they are quite funny to say the least. Now, what I did right is I picked 6 Pokemon off there. You guys seen them at the start. And I only modified their moves a little bit if needed. Some of them were just fully EV trained or ready to go. Obviously just straight in. And some of them only had one of them only had one move. So I'll tell you which ones I modified and which ones I just kept the same. So we got this Drapion here. This Drapion was a max health and max defense set. Bulldoze, Knockoff, Toxic Spikes, and Protect. Kind of interesting. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it just tanks a lot of physical hits, which is pretty good, right? It allowed me to set up some Toxic Spikes at the start. Now, we got a Colossal here. Also, this was a random battle. I don't know who this was against. It was just straight up random battle on my Twitch stream. So we got a special attacking Colossal here with the Meteor Beam. They're going to boost their special attack there by 1 stage and have the Power Herb activating so the moves hits in 1 turn, right? Now, as I mentioned before, this is a max health, max defense set. So on the special side, it was going to be a little bit shaky, but I just somehow managed to withstand that hit and, live that, which is going to allow me to get another Toxic Spikes up. Now, this didn't come with the item, so I just gave it Black Sludge as an item, right? That's the only thing I did to modify, just Drapion. I don't know about Drapion shiny. It's one of those shinies I'm sort of on the fence about. Anyway, so going for a second layer of Toxic Spikes, I did think for going for another, a Bulldoze, but I was like, nah, let's get 2 layers up. That's going to be kind of handy against one of the Pokemon on their team. Especially one of the Pokemon. You guys will find out, as the battle goes on. So Drapion is going to go down, unfortunately. Now we're going to bring in Kingler. Now, this Kingler was a G-Max Kingler. It was max attack and max speed. And let me tell you, it was Hammer Arm, Sword Dance, Crab Hammer, and Knockoff. They were the moves that came with. And, it was G-Max already. It was Adamant Nature. It wasn't Jolly Nature for some reason. So, usually if I was going to build a Kingler, it would have been Jolly Nature, especially with Sword Dance, right? So I was like, what are they going to do? I'm just going to go for Crab Hammer here. Crab Hammer will just end Colossal's entire career. But they are going to go G-Max against me. So, okay, well, this is really, really good, right? Because I could wipe out their G-Max, Dynamax Pokemon, right away and not have to deal with that, any time throughout the rest of this battle. So we got the big old Colossal here. It's just basically a big oven, right? That's how I look at it. And Crab Hammer failed to hit. Oh, this is so bad. Now we got the Colossal going for its G-Max move there. And basically the Crab is going to get squashed in the 1 shot. So that definitely would have 1-shot it easily. And now we've got some rocks on the field as well. So things are not going my way at all. So Kingler does absolutely nothing. Next Pokemon, look at the name of this. The next Pokemon we got is Lantern, right? Now, Lantern came with 4 moves. Actually, Lantern came exactly as it is. I think it was max health and max special attack. Scald, Volt Switch, Ice Beam, and Hydro Pump, right? Now, it didn't come with an item, so I was like, okay, well, this set actually could work pretty well with Choice Specs. So I gave it a Choice Specs, right? I didn't want the same thing to happen again as the, the Crab Hammer Kingler, right? Because Hydro Pump is less accuracy than Crab Hammer, right? So I was like, okay, I'm kind of forced to Dynamax my Lantern here. I don't really want to, but I kind of have to, right? So I'm going to be going for the Hydro Pump here and getting a nice fat buff and help. Now, all these Pokemon already had max Dynamax candy, so it was good, right? Because if I forgot, which never happens, that's gonna give them a nice buff and help, right? So going for that Colossal there, and I'm gonna be 1-shot it. Colossal was very slow too. Lantern is slow, but it's not real slow like Colossal. Okay, so I'm gonna make it rain there, which is gonna be definitely be a benefit to Lantern, and I finally take my first Pokemon out. I have lost a third of my team though, so I was a little bit worried about that. So taking some damage there from the G-Max Volclip there. Nothing I could have done about that. Next Pokemon we got is the Rillaboom. So this person's set were all competitive sets, so it was a pretty decent team here. So we got the Grassy Surge. As soon as I seen Grassy Surge, I'm like, okay, they're gonna go for a Grassy Glide against Lantern. Lantern should be able to live this one, obviously a Dynamax, but I've got Max Hailstorm, which is going to do damage to me. I've got nothing to hit it with apart from that. So I've got to go for the Max Hail here. I got to try and take Rillaboom out in one shot. I was confident I could get close. So Grassy Glide does a lot of damage, almost taking me out there. If I wasn't a Dynamax, I was definitely going to go down there. So I'm going to drop a couple of Ice Cubes on Rillaboom, and Rillaboom is able to live that one, which is really, really unfortunate for my Lantern. So instead of it raining now, it's going to start hailing. But the problem is, right, this Rillaboom has got the grassy terrain in the field, so instead of me doing damage to it with the hail and the toxic, it's going to heal itself up a little bit there as well. So I'm not going to be able to take it out this turn. Now I'm going to get a little bit more health back on my Lantern. Now I had to make a bit of a decision here. I knew that Rillaboom would take me out the grassy glide, right? So it's like, I'm going to actually save Lantern for later on in the game. There was one Pokemon I was a little bit concerned about, so I got to save it for that. I was confident I could outspeed and do some heavy damage. So now we're going to go into Scizor. This Scizor was absolute trash. Its EVs were just like totally random EVs. So it was like a lot in special attack, a bit in health. It was sort of like all across the board. Anyway, so I went into Scizor just to resist that move from the Rillaboom, and Rillaboom's going to go down to the Toxic and the Hail. So that was a nice swap in there. I preserved my Lantern for later use in the game as well. Now, this one I turned into a special attacking Scizor. I basically taught it just special attacking moves, right? It had light metal, it didn't even have bullet punch, so I was like, I think me and the chat decided to make it into the special one. So I gave it Bug Buzz and Flash Cannon for its main sort of stab moves. Now, it already came with Round, so I was like, man, Round. I've got to keep Round, and I gave it Focus Energy with a Scope Lens, so I could go for Focus Energy, then get 100% crit on Bug Buzz and Flash Cannon and Round, guys. Round. Okay, so I went for Bug Buzz on the Clawitz. So I was like, I've got nothing to lose here, and it does actually pretty good damage. I was actually really happy with that. Now we got the Mega Launcher Water Pulse here, and I actually lived that one. I was actually very surprised. Unfortunately for me there, the Hail is going to take me up. That's such a shame, right? Because I would have been able to hit it with another Bug Buzz, right? Okay, but Scizor did better than what Scizor did like way better than what I ever expected it to do. Like, it actually did some solid damage to Clawitz and sort of set me up to swap in my Kangaskhan. So the Kangaskhan that I found, this one already had a pretty solid moveset. It did have Return though, so I got rid of Return obviously because it's not around, and I gave it Body Slam and said, that's all the modification I did to the Kangaskhan. Oh, I also gave it an Assault Vest too. That was pretty much it. So go for that Fake Out there, getting a flinch on the Clawitz and racking up that toxic damage. This is going to put it in a range for me to go for a Body Slam too, and take that Clawitz out. This Kangaskhan was a max, I believe they definitely had max attack, right? It wasn't fast, it was a slow Kangaskhan. I believe it was max health and max attack EVs, that's what they gave to her, right? Okay, so now I can go for Body Slam. I thought I might be able to outspeed it, depending on what, they had on there, what their item was and stuff, and the EVs. And I'm going to outspeed and take the Clawitz out. So that was really, really good. I've actually clawed my way back into this battle, right? I've lost, I've almost lost 4 on my team, but I've really got back into it. I've taken half of the team out. So I was pretty happy with that at this stage, right? Now, the next Pokemon that comes in is Pyukumuku. Remember at the start, I was like, I need to preserve my Lantern for a Pokemon, right? And I need to get Toxic Spikes down for a Pokemon. This was the Pokemon I was talking about then. So I'm like, okay, what's the worst Pyukumuku can do to me? Toxic? What's it going to do, It's got no attacking presence whatsoever. So I went for the Toxic. It's like, okay, that's fine. I can just go for a Volt Switch this turn and hit the Pyukumuku with a Choice Specs Volt Switch, which should do some pretty solid damage. I was estimating, depending on what the EVs were, if it was a defensive set, it's going to do a lot, a lot. If it was more special defensive, we're probably looking around 3/4 of its health, something like, or maybe less, like around, I was expecting probably, about 3/4 of damage to the Pyukumuku. So obviously it was definitely more defensive, and I almost took it out with 1 Volt Switch. That was very, very impressive there, and plus I got to keep my Lantern too, maybe to swap it in later on for fodder. Okay, so now into Kangaskhan. I thought I might be able to go for a Fake Out and Body Slam, but it's just going to recover straight away. Obviously waiting for me to go down to the Toxic damage, right? Okay, so I'm like, it's either going to go for Toxic, or it's going to go for Counter, right? So what I needed to do, an important thing was to go for Fake Out here, right? To get that flinch and to get that Toxic damage racking up. And then I could go for a Body Slam afterwards, right? Or I can maybe swap back into Lantern, then swap back into Kangaskhan, get another Fake Out, and clap those Pyukumuku cheeks. Alright, so go for that Fake Out there, and it does pretty good damage. It has got the Leftovers as the item too, but I'm mainly thinking about the Toxic right now, racking that up on Pyukumuku. So Pyukumuku has taken a fair bit of damage now. I can definitely take this out with Body Slam. I don't know what ability he has, if it's unaware or in a doubt. If it's in a doubt, it's not going to do much damage to me anyway. So we're going to sit on that Pyukumuku, and Pyukumuku is going to have the inner doubt, and we took it up. That's really good, getting rid of that really stally Pokemon there. So the Toxic Spikes at the start mattered a lot there because I sort of put pressure on it with Fake Out and, of course, a Lantern. So those plays earlier on set me up to take out the Pyukumuku, which is great. Okay, so swapping out the Kangaskhan, I don't know what Duraludon is going to do. Lantern's on a low amount of health. It can't outspeed the rest of the Pokemon, so I thought, let's see what it's going to be. So it's going to be a special set there with a Flash Cannon, and my Lantern's going to go down, which I expected to be anyway. Now, the good thing, the best thing I got out of that was to see that it was a Life Orb set, so it's definitely, you know, it's probably going to be very, very offensive and not so much bulky. So into Kangaskhan now, I can go for another Fake Out, and I've got Sucker Punch to work with too if I do get outsped. They're going to withdraw their Duraludon, and now they're going to go into their Lapras. So I'm like, I'm very, very happy that they already, G-Max their Pokemon at the start, right? Because this thing is not fun to verse, especially with this team, right? Okay, so doing some pretty solid damage there with a Fake Out, and, Toxic gets one stage of damage. Now it's like, okay, what should I do? Should I just go for Body Slam here? That's going to be my best bet here. So go for the Body Slam. I didn't want to lose Kangaskhan because it was actually pretty important against that Duraludon too. So go for that big Body Slam. Body Slam does pretty impressive damage. They went for a Sheer Cold, and Sheer Cold misses. I am so glad that missed. I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I've had some really unlucky Sheer Cold KOs in the last couple of weeks in battles, right? So now I can freely go for a Body Slam and take this Lapras out. And I went for a ride on Lapras, guys. It was hype. Okay, so Lapras is going to go down. I've got one more Pokemon, which is the Duraludon, right? Now, once again, I don't have Fake Out to get some extra damage. Plus, remember, it's a Steel type, so Toxic's not going to do anything, right? So they're going to outspeed me, go for a Flash Cannon. Oh, I'm like, man, that did a lot of damage. I've got Assault Vest as well. So I went for Body Slam to try and get it paralyzed, right? Now, that actually does pretty impressive damage, to say the least, with the crit there. And I was like, man, this is pretty good. Let's go for Sucker Punch now on the Duraludon. Does nice damage there. And now they're going to go for a Flash Cannon. I still have one more Pokemon left as well. And I lived it on 2 health, which is absolutely awesome. That, my friends, is the game. They baby bottled there at the end. But thank you for the battle there. I'm not sure what your name was, but thank you for the first battle. And that was it, people. A very, very close battle. And their team was pretty competitive, to say the least, right? Okay, you guys get to see the amazing last Pokemon I didn't use either. This is a battle on my Twitch stream. This one's against Stally. I think I've versed him before. And he has a very interesting team. He's got a team as well. I wonder if you guys can guess it. It's really hard to guess, but, just let me know in the comment section. You might be able to go. Okay, so we got a Gallade here, right? Now, Drapon is very bulky, as I mentioned before. So I thought this would be a good starting Pokemon. I could pop down those Toxic Spikes, 2 layers, and, this will help me out like a lot, right? So go for that Toxic Spikes and dropping them on the field. Even with a bulky set, I do outspeed Gallade, which is interesting. And now Gallade is going to go for a Tract. I'm like, what is this set going to be? So we got the name of the Gallade. It's like, this is going to be like a really, really annoying set. So I got to try and get both Toxic Spikes up, before I, maybe hit myself in confusion, or just I'm able to attack at all. So I get immobilized by Love, and now it's going to go for a Thunder Wave. So okay, Infatuation, and now the Thunder Wave. What's next? Confused Ray. So I was really, really hoping I could get like one more off. I could swap it in later, but I want that bad poison on all of the Pokemon. So the next move, as I kind of thought, was going to be Confused Ray. So Infatuation, Paralyze, and Confused Ray. There was such a small chance of me being able to get through all of these 3 statuses at once, right? It was really, really bad. I don't know, the chances are so tiny, and I managed to get through with the Toxic Spikes and put them on the field, which is absolutely amazing. That was very, very lucky they're getting that. So obviously they're going to withdraw now. I'd be a bit salty too. And the next one's going to come out. I think I think someone said this is the German name for Gallade. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can say this, guys. Are you ready? This is going to be absolutely awesome. Wait, I've got to wait for the name to come up again. Okay, so in the meantime, it's going to eat its Lumberry. I'm going to swap out here too, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to attack again, so I went into Scizor. Now, this Scizor, the special set, right, it's not going to do too much. Let me see this. Gallade, did I do it right? People in the comment sections, did I do it right? Gallade, Laddie, like lad? Anyway, so we got the Gallade go for the Sword Dance here. It's going to be a very offensive set. Or I'm not sure if it's going to be offensive or it's going to be a meme set. Either way, I didn't like the fact that it was setting Sword Dance up for me. So I'm like, okay, let's set up Focus Energy. I'm about to drop this Gallade in like 16 hits right now. So I've got Bug Buzz and Flash Gun. Now, Bug Buzz has got 10 more base power, But, you know, it might drop the special attack. Not that it's going to change, right? Now, the thing about Flash Cannon, right, it's got a chance to drop the special defense. In this case, it's like, nah, I've got to go for base power, right? So Gallade's going to go for a close combat, and Scizor just gets demolished. I'm like, oh, man, this is a sweaty Gallade on the team. So if you haven't guessed already, they are doing a full Gallade team. So 6 Gallades at once. It's going to be a pretty big task for my team. So I bring in Drapion. Once again, this is the bulky set, right? So I was like, okay, maybe I can slow this down with the Bulldoze. I was a little bit worried, right, with knockoff, because that was a bit dicey because of Justified. I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to boost his attack even more than, like, it already is, right? So Gallade's going to go for another close combat. That does a lot of damage. I'm actually able to withstand that, which is really good. If I was actually kind of worried here, because I'm like, if I didn't have this Drapion, like, not many of my Pokemon, if any, could have, like, even got, like, around that move. So dropping the speed of the Gallade there, I was wondering, can I actually outspeed this with Drapion? I was like, if I wasn't paralyzed, I'd have a chance. If, you know, if definitely, like, if, you know, it's got pretty good base speed there, right? So I can go for another close combat and take him out. It is actually going to drop its defense another stage. So I'm starting to think here, okay, I've dropped its speed, like, 1 stage. I could swap in Kangaskhan and go for Fake Out, right? That would work. And that would do a lot of damage too. And, you know, that would sort of like be my go-to play. If they do swap, you know, so be it. Oh, if they got Steadfast or something like that. So Kangaskhan, I almost just went for a body slam off the bat here. I was like, nah, let's go for Fake Out and see how much this does. It should do a lot. And Fake Out, I'm going to clap those Gallade cheeks. It's going to go down. So I finally took 1 Gallade out. I was very happy about that. So now we got another Gallade. I was like, what is this set going to be this time, right? So it's kind of interesting because I do a lot of 6 Pokemon teams. So it's interesting when you come across some of the people that watch your videos and they sort of make the same similar sort of teams, which is it's really fun to verse. Not when you're using a Kangaskhan against Gallade though. Okay, so Kangaskhan goes down. I thought I got rid of the close combat Gallade, but there's another one. So I was like, man, how am I going to take this out now? I've lost, like, honestly, I mean, Scizor's a pile of trash. Kangaskhan's good. Drapion's nice defensive wall. Like, Kingler was, like, sort of my last bet here to actually get me back in the game. Things are, like, dire straits. So I was like, okay, I've got to go for the big G-spot Kingler here. Like, this is definitely one of my big, you know, out of all the G-Max Pokemon, this is definitely one of my favorite. I think that was a Safari. That was a Safari Ball as well. Good stuff, GTS. Solid. Okay, so we're going to go into that big old crab. Now, I will say one thing about G-Max Kingler. It looks really cool. I love the looks. But its G-Max move is really boring. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments section, right? Anyway, they went for the Destiny Bond. I was like, thank goodness, right, I went into the G-Max Pokemon, because if I didn't G-Max and took them out with the Crab Hammer, I would have gone again, like, I would have gone down to and lost another really good Pokemon. Probably the best Pokemon on my team, Kingler is. So, Gallade's going to go down, and when you're G-Max or Dynamax, right, you're immune to stuff like Destiny Bond. Thank goodness. That would have been very, very bad. Okay, so this is the sorry for hacks thing again. It's like, all right, this is either going to go for a Thunder Wave and shut me down, or it's going to go for a Attract. I want to take this out really, really soon. So, as I was saying before on the G-Max move, right, it's G-Max Foam Burst. Basically looks like the normal water-type move, but it just has that little foamy effect at the bottom. I don't know, I feel like the G-Max move needed to be a little bit more, maybe for the next game, the G-Max move needs to be a little bit more different or more exciting. Like, that looks almost exactly like it, except for see that foamy part there? That's basically it. It's very, very similar, like compared to Max Geyser. Okay, so unfortunately for me, it's going to live there, and it's going to be able to attract me. So, like, okay, I've got one more turn of Dynamax. There's a very, very, very good chance it's going to go for Thunder Waves. So, like, what I'm going to do here is I either go for G-Max Foam Burst, I don't get infatuated, or I swap into Lantern and get a Volt Absorb from the probably coming my way Thunder Wave, right? If I'm wrong about that, then they may go for another move. I don't think I've seen their other move at this point, so I was sort of thinking about that. I was like, let's play it safe. I really need to keep Kingler, like, back there. It doesn't matter because Gallade's already probably going to go down to the poison anyway, right? So we're going to go back into Lantern here, and I was hoping they'd go for a Thunder Wave, so a Volt Absorb would just activate and nothing would happen. So, like I thought they would, they went for the Thunder Wave, and Lantern is going to eat that one up, and Gallade is going to go down to the poison, which is good. So we've taken out half the team here, so I have evened the battle up a little bit, which is good. And I've got rid of, I've got rid of those scary close combat Gallades. Okay, so in comes another Gallade. They're all called Gallade. Right, so more Toxic on the side of the field, which is good. This is my choice spec set. So I thought about this for a while. Should I go for Scald in case it's another close combat set? They haven't used a special set yet, which they could use, but I was really thinking about Scald or Hydro Pump. I was really tossing up between them. I decided to go for the Hydro Pump, and then they went for the Carmine. I'm like, oh no, it's a special set. This is bad. Now, Gallade actually has quite good base special defense already, right? So I knew this Hydro Pump wasn't going to land super, super hard. I mean, Lantur's special attack is nothing to write home about, but even with the choice specs, it hits pretty hard. It's got some nice surprise power with it, but nothing like incredibly amazing, right? So I can go for another Hydro Pump here, or they're going to use like Rest or something like that. It's like, hopefully they don't use Rest or anything along those lines, right? And they're going to Dynamax. So I was like, okay, all right. I wonder what they're going to do with this set. So I'm straight away and thinking, okay, they probably got a Psychic type move, right? Like, you know, Psy Shock. Almost said something else then. Psychic, Focus Miss, you know, those sort of moves. Like Thunderbolt. You know, that sort of cover. I mean, you wouldn't use Thunderbolt against a Lantern, but you get what I mean, right? So they're going to go for the Max Mindstorm. Now, Max Mindstorm is a good play there because that's going to put the Psychic terrain on the field. Now, usually, if that wasn't there, Lantern would be able to live the next hit. With the terrain up on the field, it's definitely going to go down the next turn, right? So I got to do as much damage as I can. Hydro Pump does land, which is good, but after that Carmine and the Dynamax there, I'm not doing a lot of damage. So that's one turn down with the Gallade. Gallade's going to go for a Max Mindstorm here, and Lantern is going to go down. Now, my only Pokemon that can probably tank this and live it with, or I don't know, just outspeed this Gallade is the Machamp, the Pokemon you guys haven't seen. Now, this Machamp was traded to me. It had only bulk up. It had 0 IVs in every stat. That's all it had, and it was called Derpchamp, right? It was the trashiest Pokemon out there, right? Just like one of those troll Pokemon you get, right? So I was hoping with the Quick Log to activate and to go for the Ice Punch. Like, this Machamp literally did nothing out of all the battles that I had. All I did was teach it 3 moves, and I gave it EVs and attack and health. That's it. I kept the IVs the same. I was like, I'm not wasting a gold bottle cap on that. Anyway, so go for the Max Mindstorm. Quick Log doesn't activate, and Derpchamp is going to hit the sand. There's nothing I could have done there. I had to sacrifice that because I still got the Kingdra. Not the Kingdra, the Kingler. I'm getting my Kings mixed up. Okay, now something funny actually happened. Actually, no, it was after this. So something funny did happen after this. So I swapped in Kingler. I'm like, okay, well, I should be able to take out Gallade right here. It's out of Dynamax. I wonder what sort of move it's got, like Psychic type move. Now, Kingler doesn't have the best special defense in the world. There is a Psychic terrain too, so I thought, oh, man, it's going to be really bad. Oh, the item I gave Kingler was a Focus Band, too. So they're going to have stored power. I do take that one only because they had 1 boost up. That's the only reason. And I'm going to take it out with Disrespect Knockoff. And that is Gallade down. Now, the only move I've got left to possibly one-shot, that had a weakness policy, damn son. And the last 2 Pokemon were Gallades, right? I needed Crabhammer, right, to take these last 2 Pokemon out. If I didn't have, like, if Crabhammer missed or... you know, that was basically game. So I've got Crabhammer. I can't set up Sword Dance. I don't have enough room. I don't have enough health. I've got to go for Crabhammer, right, and hope for the best. So go for that big hope Crabhammer, hoping for the crit too. It lands. It doesn't take it out even with a crit. I can't believe it. And now Gallade does the worst thing ever. It uses Disable. It's disabled my Crabhammer. So all I can do now is Knock Off or Hammer Arm. And I know for a fact that Knock Off or Hammer Arm isn't going to take out a Gallade in one shot. There's no way. I need Crabhammer, right? So the weird is going to disappear from the field. Now, at this stage, right, on the stream, I was like, oh, guys, this is their last Gallade, right? I'll Disrespect KO them with Hammer Arm, right? So I was like, yo, GG's, we got that one, boys and girls. But I forgot, right, there's 1 more Gallade left, and I dropped my speed. So I was like, oh no, I'm going to get outsped. But then I'm starting to think, maybe that could be a Galaxy Brain play, right? Because I won't, like, activate Justify. I could go for a knockoff or something like that, and that'll do a fair bit of damage. But at this stage, it's going to be a special set and come in and take me out. And I did the calcs. There's no way I would have taken it out with knockoff or, you know, Hammer Arm. Either one of those moves wasn't going to take it out, even with the crit. That's about it, people. Hope you enjoyed both these battles. There's something special I've got to do right now, people. Make sure you keep watching. It's very important. Trust me.